Hello, everyone. This is Madison Taylor, and on this channel today, we are going to be talking about how reviews, both positive and negative, will affect your business in the long term. So, this channel is dedicated to giving real life advice from a business owner, myself, who's been in business now for about 4 years, and just telling about my experience and how that could help you succeed in your field as well. So, let's get into it. So to begin, let's define what exactly is a review. So a review is typically something that's either written, usually it's online. It might be on a platform such as Google, Facebook, TripAdvisor, but a review is from an actual customer that defines their experience of their business. This can be both positive, it could be negative, and every review platform will have inherently a different way to review their businesses. This might be in the form of stars, this might be something just as a comment, but usually reviews have some kind of ranking system that they will typically use to justify the review itself against the business. Did you know that over 93% of all customers will typically read reviews before making a product purchase? This includes both products and services. Reviews are one of the most important things that any business can gather. This includes both product-based businesses and service-based businesses. The bottom line is people will read reviews about your business no matter what. They want to know that your business is legitimate, that they're actually making a purchase that they can trust, and that you'll follow through on your word. The product is worth both the quality and the price point. So, bottom line is reviews are worth absolutely everything for your business. Reviews do for a business. So to give you a perspective about myself, so my business is in the product, both in the product and service-based business. We run a custom clothier combined with the men's salon all in one. So we deal with both the service aspect and the product aspect at the same time. So when clients typically leave a review, let's say it's a good review, they'll tell about their experience, how they had a good haircut, or they had a good time working with one of our custom clothiers. But we use reviews typically as a word of mouth marketing piece. We'll either post it on a marketing piece, we might post it on social media, but to us, reviews are just another way to market ourselves. And really, both those reviews will go into our SEO aspects. So we have Google is primarily where we do most of our marketing from, and we have almost 300 reviews on that piece itself. So reviews are a great way for people to read about other people's experience, and honestly, they just help boost our SEO. So if you think of it a long-term aspect, by boosting your SEO, you're spending less money on marketing, you're just increasing your overall Google rating, and Google is thinking you've more of a domain authority versus someone else who maybe has 10 to 20 reviews if you have 2 to 300. So think of it in that aspect. Bottom line is they're going to help you save money in the long term. They're going to boost up your Google SEO. And again, it's a great way of marketing to other customers who may have not heard about your product or service from the beginning. Let's talk about how to get reviews. So getting reviews for any business, whether you're just starting out or maybe you're more mature in your stage, is tricky, right? So you want people obviously to leave a good review about your business organically and tell others about their experience. So what's honestly worked for us is simply just asking customers when they check out and say, hey, I know so-and-so, you had such a great experience with us. Would you please leave us a review? It's super important for our customers to hear about your experience, and you could just spread the word of mouth. Honestly, that's the best way to do it, is just organically ask them. Another thing that's worked well for us is that after they check out immediately, we'll get a poll online through, usually it's through email or text, asking us how to rate their experience 1 through 5. And if it's good, they were encouraged to leave a review both on Yelp or Google or whatever platform we choose. If it's bad, typically we like to know about it so we can, filter it out and contact the customer about their experience. But there is definitely a lot of platforms online that you can check out that have just organic software where you can plug into your system and they can leave a review and have different channels where they can, push reviews. So that's another great way that you can help and encourage others to leave reviews. But again, every new business, it's super important to gather those reviews, and it's just the best way, honestly, is just to ask those customers to see if they can, leave their experience on your page of choosing. So let's talk about what to do when you receive a positive review. This is what every business owner wants, right? You want to receive plenty of positive reviews about your products or service. So in this example, we're going to be talking about Google specifically. That's just what I use for my business, and most of our reviews are honestly posted on Google. Every business might be a little bit different. You might get more reviews on like Yelp or TripAdvisor or Facebook, but specifically I'm going to be talking about Google. So when a client typically leaves a review, let's say it's a positive review on our page, I will go into the Google My Business page, just check over the newest reviews. And first off, you don't want to leave them hanging, right? If they take the time out of their day, especially if they leave something in a comment, not just a star ranking, you want to acknowledge the client and write a response back. So clients do see your response. Usually they'll get an email notification to whatever Google account saying that so and so business replied back to your comment and here was the response. So yes, they do in fact see those comments back to the business. So you don't want to include something to be generic, such as, oh, thank you for the review. You want to make it a little bit more personalized based on what they're saying. So for example, if John leaves a review about your restaurant and he says, I had a great experience with my server, the food was excellent, we'll definitely be coming back, I'm recommending my friends and family. Again, perfect review. That's exactly what you want to say to anyone. So what you want to reply is something along the lines of, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to leave such a wonderful review about your staff. We are so excited that you enjoyed your experience with your server and enjoyed the food. We really appreciate you recommending it to your friends and family. We are so appreciative that that really helps us out as a business. Again, it's not generic, it's more tailored, and there's some kind of ask at the end of the sentence. You can either say, we really want you to recommend to your friends and family, maybe talk about the products or services, but again, you want to personalize that review. Something else to note on those reviews is that they are an SEO portion. So, someone specifically talking about either a service provider, a product, that's going to pick up on Google. So, in your reply, you also want to mention those kind of keywords as well. So, in our business, we do men's custom clothing and we're a salon all in one. So, if someone leaves us a review and they specifically mention maybe their person that cut their hair and they mention a haircut. Those are two kind of key buzzwords that Google's going to pick up on. So in my response, I would mention the service provider again specifically and the service that they're getting. So I might say something along the lines of, thank you so much for your review. I'm so happy that you enjoyed your haircut today with George. He's an excellent, service provider, whatever you want to say back. And we are so happy that you enjoyed your experience with your haircut. Again, you're mentioning kind of those kind of key buzzwords in those sentences, which is what Google's going to pick up on. So that's super important that you reply those back in the review as well. So on the flip side, now that we're done talking about positive reviews, let's talk about negative reviews. So unfortunately, negative reviews are just kind of part of the game, if you would. Every business at some point, whether you're just starting out or more mature in your cycle, will experience some negative criticism. Again, it's just part of life. So in our business specifically, we use Google as kind of our main outlook. And although we have close to 300 reviews, most of which are positive, I would say 99% of it, there are some on there that are, maybe less favorable. And I consider kind of a negative review as anything 3 stars and below. 3 stars to me is just kind of like, it's in the middle, it's not great, but still it's criticism from me as the business owner of what I can do better to make that experience more pleasurable for the clients, right? So negative reviews, you got to look at it in two sides. It's either you messed up as a business, maybe something didn't go right, or it's just perhaps a client will unfortunately just their experience wasn't, they make it up in a sense, right? It's hard to determine, but there's two sides to every story, right? When dealing with a negative review, and there's two sides of how you have to read it. But nevertheless, a negative review is there. It's an experience of the customer, so you do want to have kind of some um, perspective when reading negative reviews, right? The first thing you want to do when you receive a negative review online is number one, you want to acknowledge the reviewer and what they are saying. So this could include stuff as mentioned by name and what specifically they're talking about in the review. The next thing you want to do is you want to keep your response short. You do not, by any circumstances, want to go on a rant, especially when you're just blaming the person and nailing them down of every single comment of why that's wrong or whatever it might be. That does not look good to anyone else who's viewing that review. No matter how mad or how upset you're being, do not by any circumstances leave a long, lengthy rebuttal back that's just blasting the customer. You want to think of reviews as it's criticism for your business, what you can do better, but do not blast the client back on any review system. Don't forget, people are going to read that and they might take that out of context of what you're saying in the review. So that could actually hurt you negatively in the long run. So don't do that. Number three is that you want to go ahead and take any reviews offline. So this can include something as just making a quick comment saying the management's going to contact you, but you don't want to reply back and say something that will contradict what you're actually doing. So best thing to do is just in some way, shape, or form, just mention to them that you're going to be contacting them directly to take the review experience and just kind of figure out a little bit more about what happened in that circumstance. So then going back to the example of myself as a business owner, when we do receive any criticism for our business, what we typically like to do in response is we'll say something along the lines of, dear client name, thank you so much for leaving your experience about us today. We are so happy that you took the time out of your day to leave a review, and we're always striving to make the business better. We appreciate you letting us know about your experience. Although we did not meet your expectations, we are doing everything we can to go ahead and fix the situation. Our managers or manager team will reach out directly to you to learn a little bit more about your experience. And that's it. Again, keep it super short, keep it very brief. You can see in that example, we didn't bash anyone. We named the client specifically and acknowledge what they're talking about. But again, keep it short, keep it brief, mention to them that you want to take it offline, and don't leave anyone else any room to comment back onto that review. So in my experience, one thing I think I've seen a lot of, especially when reading, this is more tailored more towards Yelp than I would say Google or Facebook, but specifically in any hospitality or service-based businesses like restaurants, salons, hotels, the worst thing I think you can see when you go on there, and I can't stress this point enough, is when a business owner just makes a really crude comment back to the reviewer. They might say something like, go somewhere else, or write a lengthy response about how they're in the wrong. But again, it doesn't look good to any business owner. Like, it doesn't make your product more valued by making these snippy comments back to someone. You want to read reviews like it's criticism for your business, right? How you make your experience better. No one's perfect, right? We're not saying that any business is perfect, myself included. We've had some stuff on there that I'm like, okay, maybe it's valid. Maybe I can definitely improve this or this service. I'm not saying in any way that every business, again, is perfect, but by any reason, do not leave just a bashing review back to the client. You can pretty much go on a Yelp or page or restaurant, hotel, and look in your local area and just type in your restaurant, and you might find some of these. But again, it doesn't look good. So please just don't post it on there. So now that we're done talking about reviews today, I would love to hear your experience about how you deal with reviews, especially for your business. So please leave a comment below for any advice that you have for other business owners on how they can deal with comments, both positive and negative. So again, thank you so much for viewing this video. Please feel free to subscribe to this channel for more advice on your business. We'll see you in a future video. Thank you so much.